Now let's talk about same game parlays, which are my favorite bet. They're pretty much the same as a normal parlay, but all the selections you add to your parlay are from the same game. So let's say you want to combine the Pacers to win with Pascal Siakam to score over 19.5 points. So here we get plus 317 for that combination. Since Pascal Siakam has to score 20 points or more for this bet to win, then it's probably more likely that the Pacers win when that happens. That's called positive correlation. Now, if you can see here, Pascal Siakam is plus 104 to go over 19.5 and minus 138 to go under 19.5, which means that they think he's more likely to go under 19.5. However, if you combine it with the Pacers money line, if you put under 19.5, you get plus 378 odds. Right? And that's higher odds, a better payout than if you use his over 19.5. That's because if he scores 20 points or more, it's more likely the Pacers will win than if he scores less than 20 points. This is called positive correlation, and this is called negative correlation. Negative correlation means, if one thing happens, then another thing is less likely to happen. While positive correlation means if one thing happens, so here if Siakam scores 20 or more, then another thing is more likely to happen, aka the Pacers winning. So one interesting thing about same game parlays is that since they have this correlation baked into the odds they're giving you, they essentially are hiding what they're doing in the background when they add this correlation and they add VIG. So what sportsbooks do is they add extra VIG for each leg of a same game parlay you add. The easiest way to notice this is by adding something with super short odds into your same game parlay. So here you can see we have the Pacers to win plus 180. Then we have Pascal Siakam to score 10 points at minus 3,000, which is super short. It's very likely to happen. When you add Siakam to the slip with the Pacers winning, it lowers the odds to plus 159, even though you have to have an extra thing happen. Now you're only getting plus 159. So if you bet $100, you'll win $159. But if you just remove him, you don't even need Siakam in the parlay, and you just bet on the Pacers, you would win $180 on a $100 bet, which is obviously way better. Plus, you don't have the added risk of Siakam getting injured or not scoring 10 points and the Pacers still winning. But that's the easiest way to see the extra VIG added, right? Because they're just lowering the price when you're adding something because it's super short and they're just adding VIG and that's all that's happening. Other books do it somewhat differently. For instance, ESPN Bet, instead of lowering the odds, they just keep the odds the same, but it still doesn't make sense. If you're going to get paid the same amount, you don't want to add an extra thing to it. So to show you how the correlation works, we'll take an example where we have the Pacers to win and then Siakam over 19.5 points. So the two legs are plus 180 for the Pacers to win and plus 104 for Siakam to score over 19.5 points. If it was a traditional parlay, the odds would be 471. If you bet $100, you would win $471. But our odds are 317, which does make sense because obviously if Siakam scores 20 or more, then it's more likely the Pacers win, so your overall odds should come down. The problem is the hidden algorithm. It's not like a secret that they're adding more VIG, but it is hidden because they don't show you. So their SGP algorithm, SGP stands for same game parlay, is adding more VIG for every leg you add. And because of this, SGPs are probably a very big winner for sportsbooks when it comes to casuals betting on sports. Because a lot of people just sit there and add a bunch of things they think are likely to happen, like Jalen Williams, Siakam, and Halliburton all to get 15 points, Halliburton to get 4 assists. But what's happening is you're getting such a small boost in your odds that you're really just losing to VIG. One nice thing about same game parlays is that sometimes you can find instances where certain books don't price things correctly. This is a very, very simple example and it would never happen, right? Because this is obvious. But, if you had the Pacers plus 180, we already looked at this, right? Siakam, 20 or more points, 317, but less than 20 points is 378. If those odds were swapped, then you could probably take advantage of something like that because now the sportsbook is giving you negative correlation for Siakam 20 plus points and the Pacers to win, which is something that should actually have positive correlation.